You stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just remember. Just remember. Just remember. Just remember.
Welcome, everybody, into Sim Racing Media. Tonight, we have the drivers of the J&M Group Industrial Service Winston Cup Series presented by Roberts Ballscrews taking on Talladega Super Speedway. I'm Mike Demoni, up in the booth. Joined with me, as always, is Liam Erring. Liam, how's it going, man?
Not too bad, Matt. I'm excited. We've got 2 2/3 miles at the highest banks that NASCAR has to offer. Of course, only one checkered flag to give away here at the end. We're in for a pretty good show here.
Yeah, we definitely are. These guys are looking to get back at it here once again. As last week we did see Ryan Kelly bring home the victory at Michigan. They were 3-4 and sometimes almost trying to go 5 wide last week. So we'll see what they decide to do this week. It is Talladega, so I assume we're going to see lots of side-by-side racing here tonight.
Yeah, probably some side-by-side, maybe some 3 wide, but this next-gen car, it gets awful tough when you get out in front. Tends to be a single-file line that's the quickest way to get around here. So we'll see what these drivers pull up. I would take a look at Justin Lewis coming through the tri-oval. Early morning qualifying session. Or no, rather, it's actually a late afternoon in the dead of winter. Apologies there.
It looked like it was.
The sun is on the wrong side.
Like everybody's pretty much qualified who's going to, as they do a quick, short, 5-minute qualifying session here. And to nobody's real surprise, Maxwell Caldwell is going to start on the pole. We're going to see if he's going to be able to finish on the front row as well. He's winless here, but he's still sitting about third in points, right behind teammates Justin Lewis and Andrew Polici. Drivers get down on the track here.
Yeah, these guys starting to get gridded up here. Like you said, Maxwell Caldwell, he's going to be on the pole. They've got Kendorian Davis on his outside. A phenomenal lap time to start up in second. Michael Matta and Andrew Polici make up row number 2 with Joshua Yarbrough and Todd Merkel in row number 3. And Trevor Dalton and Ronnie Hurst make up row 4. Top 10 finishes out with Adam Lowe and Justin Lewis. And we've got Jason Crumley, Jonathan Casebear, Josh Tarrant Hill, Tyler Farrar, and Sam Maddox to round out the field here today. 75 laps, 15 drivers ready to rock and rumble here at Talladega.
Yeah, they do have 75 laps. There are 2 sets of tires sitting in pit lane. Not that tires really become an issue here at Talladega. One thing that is to note, I know we talk about it almost every time we come to Talladega, is where that start-finish line is. It is clear down through the tri-oval there and right after pit exit.
Yeah, very unique location for the start-finish line. And, Big Bill France back in the day when he built this bad boy said, I want to sell some more seats down towards turn number 1. What's the best way to do that? Put the most exciting, most important spot on the racetrack right there, that start-finish line. It has definitely set us up for some crazy passes, some incredible battles. Some notable ones to talk about would be Brad Keselowski and Carl Edwards in 2009, Kevin Harvick and Jamie McMurray in 2010, and of course, to round out that tandem era, Jimmy Johnson getting the job done in a 4-wide pass, which at that time tied what was the closest finish in NASCAR history. Things can happen here in a hurry, and this track being as big as it is, don't think that's going to mean things are going to be decided by a big margin here. Oftentimes, it is just a nose.
Yeah, that's one thing they're going to be looking for, is who can they trust, who can they work with up until, the last couple laps before they have to make up their mind if they're going to go for the win or if they're going to just push the driver in front of them to that victory. They are stacked up here, headed down the backstretch.
Yeah, these guys getting their kind of final thoughts and words in with their crew, with their team, figuring out their last-minute strategies here. It seems like we've got a full fuel cell, so I would expect this to be probably a one-stop race. I think these guys can go about 40 laps on fuel.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's going to be just a single-stop race as they get their fuel calculators out. But everybody's probably going to come down if they get the chance anyway.
Definitely.
If cautions come out, but pace lights are out. They are stacked up, getting closer together here. Caldwell on the inside, Davis on the outside.
One of the longest waits for that green flag to fall after the pace car goes off, tied behind some road courses, and Phoenix is pretty long. But now the green flag is in the air. We are racing here at Talladega Superspeedway. 75 laps. Who's going to get it done?
outside lane got stacked up pretty good here as Davis is going to go to the lead. Polici and Merkel working right there with him. Caldwell got a little slow start there, but has Matta on his rear bumper.
Matta with the Old Spice face car. Once again here, he's trying to push that 94 machine to the lead on the inside. Those two cars virtually inseparable going through turn 4. Gonna allow them to get out in front. Looks like Caldwell should be able to lead this first lap, but here comes Davis trying to fight back on the outside.
Ooh, Caldwell got a little bit of a bad push there from Matta as they are sliding up and down bumpers.
And expect to see a lot of this pushing game. It's not going to be quite as effective as it was, 10, 15 years ago in that tandem era. But we are going to see that definitely be quick. Drivers are going to be able to get a bit of an advantage out front by pushing like that. And, well, you can see Matta and Maxwell Caldwell pulling away. They've got a little bit of help with Joshua Yarborough and Trevor Dalton. But the rest of those guys staying side by side, losing a bit of time. Now it's starting to break up, and here comes the 58 of Lowe.
Yeah, that inside line's hooked up fairly well. You can kind of see how they're, well, as I say that, they were pretty well all running right in each other's tire tracks. You don't see that snake motion that tends to start to happen here. And it looks like that outside line was able to get a little bit of time back there on that last lap.
Fairly organized now. You do see guys snaking around. It is really tough to see through these cars. When you're tucked up right behind somebody, you can't hardly see anything in front of you. There's a big block there by Caldwell. Here comes Davis looking towards the middle, decides against it, and Matta's going to get right back to the rear bumper of Caldwell. That was an aggressive block there.
It was a pretty aggressive block for the first, first 5 laps here. As Matta goes to the outside, I was just going to jump on board to show you what you can and cannot see. But Matta pulls to the outside. It's going to take the lead here. Caldwell has Yarborough on his rear bumper. It looks like that is going to be Trevor Dalton down on the inside as well as they start to fan out a little bit more here. Polici and Merkel drop down to the bottom.
Yeah, these guys trying to take some of that momentum. They see the 2 cars up in front of them, not hooked up. Now here comes the 59 Busch Light machine and the 22 of Ronnie Hurst. Now Davis moves down to the bottom side, coming up off of turn number 4. They're going to be side by side for the lead, maybe 3 wide. Yes, 3 wide as they come through the tri-oval.
Matta didn't have himself a dance partner as everybody pulled up and went around. Now Ronnie Hurst gets stuck in the middle.
Little 3 wide action in the middle of the pack now. Up on the top is Josh Terrett-Hill in the 10. He's got Justin Lewis pushing him, but that outside lane has quickly deteriorated just to now 2 cars starting to slow down a little bit.
Yeah, 3 wide there for a few spots. Looks like Davis going to the inside, then back out to the outside.
Tyler Farrar.
Yeah, Farrar goes clear to the wall.
Clear to the wall. Tried to take away the race lead. He's got help from Hurst. Now he jumps back down in front of Davis. He's got the advantage over Polici for right now, but he's not making very many friends in terms of who would want to help him jumping around like this.
No, that's exactly. Oh, Davis pulls down to the bottom instead of turning that 59 machine. He had the ability to do so if he wanted to, and that could have caused the big one in a hurry.
Yeah, these guys are really aggressive here to start. And I know it's kind of a smaller field for a plate race. You've got more maneuverability within the pack. But these guys are running really aggressively as now you see that 16 all over the back bumper of the 59. Making big time, and they've got about 5 to 6 car lengths over 3rd place.
Sam Maddox are trying to work with the other rookie in Davis. Almost tandem a little bit here. Sam goes to the high side. Davis stays down on the bottom.
Maddox in that 66 getting hung out to dry now. Not going to be able to find a hole for a little bit. He might be able to get some help from Ronnie Hurst and Josh Tarrant-Hill coming up behind him. But no, they are not going to go with him. It'll be 3 wide for just a moment there. 11 cars down on the bottom. Maybe 12 cars down on the bottom. And now going to go back to 12.
Ronnie Hurst going to lead that outside. Has Tarrant-Hill back there with him, as well as Adam Lowe.
He's calming down here after the first 5 laps. We've completed 7 this time around. Tyler Farrar holds on to the race lead. He's got a big push from Michael Matta. Dorian Davis moves up, trying to make a block on Ronnie Hurst. Not going to be able to do it.
It looked like he tried to get in line, just didn't have the speed to stay up there, and now he will go back almost to the back of the line there.
And he came down in front of Lewis and got himself a little bit of a bump to kind of roll on some momentum here. Catching back up to that inside, but there's a bit of a checkup. That's something you always got to look out for as you go into especially turn 3. Sometimes guys get down on that apron, there's a little bit of a checkup in front of you, and that reaction time is so quick, it can create a bigger stack up.
Yeah, it definitely can. As they are inches away from each other here, working through lap number 9.
Riding on board with Todd Merkel. Can't see just how much banking there is in this track as they settle down into the corners. 33 degrees. Not for the faint of heart.
When you get these next gens out there, you can get them wound up pretty good.
Guys right now averaging about 190 miles an hour throughout the lap.
Just under 50 seconds a lap here at Talladega. Settle down a little bit here. Looks like Ronnie Hurst is just going to be content and staying on that outside lane, try and make his way around the track.
Ooh, some more shifting up front. Here comes Matta up in front of Hurst. Gonna get a little bit of air to the front end of that Ford Mustang Dark Horse and take over the race lead. Does Ronnie Hurst stay with him up top? He does for now. And here comes the 10 with a big run. He had to kind of check up a little bit. Adam Lowe is there in the 58. Joshua Yarbrough coming up in that 77. The outside lane is where you want to be.
Hey, you can see him kind of snaking around there. Ronnie Hurst pulls down. Matta goes down with him.
And it is interesting, Mike, to me to see how these lanes change in terms of momentum that they have. I mean, it'll be the inside one lap, and then the outside will be the dominant lap. Obviously, this time it's going to be the outside because nobody's with the 16 on the inside for a couple of car lengths now. But it was really interesting to see the shift in momentum from lane to lane, from lap to lap.
Yeah, you notice it a lot, especially if that outside line can get formed up. It will usually be the place to be because you can kind of side draft and just pull yourself along regardless of, you know, how many cars are in that outside lane. But if that inside lane gets formed up the way it was earlier, they can just drive away as well. So, I mean, it's one of those things that, and that's part of the reason why you see guys move around inside and outside trying to find that faster lane that they've been in.
A little bit of a squirrely moment through the tri-oval, and we talk about it all the time when we come to these super speedway drafting style of racetracks, but when you go through that tri-oval, it's got half the banking as these corners do. You just don't have that downforce pushing your car down, so they say it feels super light. A slight tap can really upset the car and get you turned around or turned up into the pack. A really dangerous spot to be pushing. Only the best of the best can get it done. And so far, these guys have been pretty good about it.
One thing that I found out with this new iRacing update, I don't know if you've played around much since they updated it, but if you get enough damage, your pit crew will basically tell you you're done.
Oh.
It was it was very interesting.
Things
A little
tensing up
dicey.
just a little bit. Lane shifting back and forth. Looked like Matt had tried to move up to the top, then quickly went back down to the bottom.
Ooh, Anna got getting a little out of hand there, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, these guys definitely don't want to see any sort of problems happening this early in the race.
No, we're 11 minutes in, 15 laps. We got plenty of time before before it really matters out here on the track.
Yeah, Mike, I don't know if you know this, but 60 laps is a long time to drive around with a damaged race car that won't hold up at the track. That is a long, excruciating time.
Yeah.
You know, it's the opposite of excruciating. One might even say delightful. The Premier Setup Group. They've got some pretty good setups to get you going to where you need to go, get you going fast at your favorite racetracks and your favorite race cars. We appreciate them. Premier Setup Shop.
Single filed out once again through most of the field, so you get back to 7th place on the outside here. It looks like all of the Merkel racing engines have found themselves together. Caldwell, Pellicci, Lewis, and Merkel.
Looked like Davis got himself a little bit of a bump coming up out of the tri-oval. Almost bumped up out of the groove here. Not something you're usually going to see at Talladega, but a little bit of a bump and run.
Yeah, a little bump and run at a super speedway. Almost like side drafting at a road course.
It could happen. I mean, to be fair, Road America, that is a good road course to side draft at. They've got very, very long straightaways. This is the best situation to be side drafting, and not when they're single file like this, but at a racetrack like this is where the side draft is really effective.
Yeah, you can pull somebody back or maybe get your line rolling a little bit more. But I guess as they are single file out, we'll take our first commercial break here. Come back and see what happens when we return.
Landscape Company, and I'm here to tell you that we specialize in transforming both commercial and residential spaces into stunning landscapes. Whether you need a property maintenance, mulching, or expert design crew, we've got you covered. As a small family business, we pride ourselves on putting our customers first and the satisfaction of our top quality. Ready to elevate your outdoor space? Call us today at 757-724-7097 for your free quote. And remember, when you call, tell them Tillman sent you. TLC-BB, your trusted partner for all your lawn and landscape needs.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Didn't miss anything as we were side by side there. Shifting a little bit up front is Jonathan Casebear to the lead. Adam Lowe in second. We got Jason Crumley making a move on the high side.
Yeah, Crumley doing a pretty good job. He started towards the back of this field in 11th place. Casebear as well. And Mike, one thing that I'm starting to notice is that it is getting darker out here. We've got our in-sim time set to January 1st, and it's right now 4:34 in sim time. We can see that the sun is not really visible anymore. Almost everything is in the shade. So I'm wondering, could we potentially be racing to a darkness situation?
I don't know. Didn't even cross my mind until you said it when we were in break there, but it is something to pay attention to. As you can see, the skies start to emit the beautiful sunset that you can see down there.
Yeah, this is that sunlight that Charles Leclerc did that Circuit of the Americas lap, the iconic Coda lap, the sunset lap.
Yeah.
We've still got some daylight out here, though. It's not going dark yet, but that might bring some urgency in towards the middle part of the race.
Well, the only thing that's gonna make it where they can make it to the end is if they keep this under green, which is what all the drivers are wanting to do here.
Here comes a big run up top. Here comes Crumley. He's got the 59 behind him, the 66 up there as well. Tyler Farrar and Sam Maddox making it known that they may be rookies to this series, but they definitely know what they're doing in terms of getting to the front.
Yeah, cleared off just enough there to get down.
Crumley leads now over Farrar, Maddox, Case-Bear, and Lowe. And we see Joshua Yarbrough, Josh Tarrant-Hill, Ronnie Hurst, Michael Matta, and Dorian Davis, Maxwell Caldwell, Andrew Polici, Justin Lewis, Todd Merkel, and rounding out the field and the pack, Trevor Dalton. Everybody in this group, single file within a second and 3/4 of the race lead. I would imagine these guys are maybe getting ready for a pit stop coming up soon here within the next 10 to 15 laps.
Yeah, I'd say they're probably thinking split it in half and call it good. I mean, that's one thing I always found is interesting is some of the drivers will basically look at it and go, okay, I can make it so far, split it in half or a little over halfway. That way I know I have enough in case something happens on the tail end side of this race. And then you have other guys that just stay out until they basically run it dry and then hope that they made enough time on track to make up for that time difference that they're going to be fighting on the backside of their pit stop.
It's really tough to do the same thing as the leader and beat him doing it. I mean, I know that this is a drafting track and it's a little bit different. Passing happens a lot more and there's a lot more factors to it, but you know, if somebody's been dominant, you've got to try something different. You've got to try some different way to get ahead, and I'm sure we'll see some guys stay out as long as they possibly can on their tank of fuel and hope to get a timely caution.
Yeah, that's one thing a lot of drivers hope for at super speedways is that timely caution.
Doesn't always play out the way you like it to. A couple years ago in the Cup race, the Toyotas, it might have actually been this year, Toyotas tried to pull a different strategy and wreck themselves going into turn 3. Ended up being the caution that would have benefited them, where instead we're all torn up. Jason Crumley.
Back in single file.
Jason Crumley continues to lead, but look at that 59 all over his back bumper. Try to get some air to it right now, but that guy is really pushing.
Yeah, Farrar there has been one of the drivers that have been pushing almost every limit of that car. He was out in front getting pushed really hard by the 16 of Michael Matta Mata wound up passing him, and Farrar just got right on his rear bumper and gave him shoved right back out to the lead. So he knows that he can push. He knows he can be pushed. It's all a matter of if he's going to have any friends when it comes down to the end of this.
And one other thing to consider when you're pushing like that is you don't want to overheat your engine and blow it up. We saw just a couple of weeks ago in the Western States Racing League at Daytona, one of the drivers there, he was up in the front, he was pushing, all of a sudden loses the engine going into turn number 1, and he fortunately made it back around, but that was the end of his day.
Yeah.
Everybody still single file. Everybody in the race still in the lead draft. That 59, he's doing a masterful job of pushing right now. Working lap number 32 here at Talladega. Take a look back here, Joshua Yarbrough. He's got a little bit of separation between him and some guys behind him.
You see just how quick he sucked right back up to that rear bumper of Adam Lowe. Joshua Yarborough sporting one of the sponsors, the Roberts Ballscrew Repair, the industry's leading provider of full-scale CNC ball screw repair and remanufacturing services. Roberts Ballscrew, great screws at a reasonable price.
Look at the gap that these two are able to pull away on third place Sam Maddox.
Yeah, if you see that on the final lap, look for that third place driver to try and make a run, but you don't want to see that now.
Well, if it was the final lap, Sam Maddox would have gotten right back up there, potentially with a shot, but you never know how these last laps are going to play out. Lap number 34. 42 laps to go. Once we get to halfway, Mike, I'd say that's really where the pit window opens and the chess match truly begins. I would imagine we'll be able to know when these guys are coming into the pits, so should be able to hear it in advance. But these guys are starting to talk about it in the chat, and all the way up to the top of the racetrack now goes Tyler Farrar. He's going to pick up Jason Crumley there. So that puts Sam Maddox up into the race lead. Jonathan Casebear in second, Adam Lowe, Joshua Yarborough, and Josh Terrett-Hill. Rounding out your top five. Who's going to be the first to blink?
And caution
the caution is out.
Well, let's see
Tyler Farrar gets turned around. It looked like Todd Merkel was involved in that as well.
Oh.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Farrar just made a late block there, or a late get down, and looks like Caldwell couldn't Watch it
Yeah,
again.
he tries to cut down, and there's space, but the 94's got momentum. He gives him a shot. He moves him kind of up. Tries to get below him, and got him turned sideways.
Everybody should come down pit lane.
Yeah, I would imagine we'll see everybody come in. There is a possibility they could. I mean, I think they could make it to the end from here.
With
But
caution lap, with a couple caution laps, I bet they.
Yeah. Overtime might be a little iffy. Todd Merkel elects to come in the first time around. He's going to likely lose a lap under this caution flag. He does indeed go a lap down. We'll see if the 59 of Ferrari is able to keep himself on the lead lap. He took a couple of hefty shots, one to the wall and one from the 2 car. Caution out for the first time here at Talladega. 36 laps complete. Joshua Yarbrough wins the race off pit road, followed by Jonathan Casebear, Sam Maddox, Adam Lowe, Josh Tarrant Hill.
First caution. We should be. Yeah, looks like Ferrari and Merkel are both still in the pits.
Yeah, and I'm not shocked about that. They both took some pretty heavy hits, and the last thing you want to do is get stuck out here without a drafting partner. Almost smarter to get the damage repaired, go a lap down, and hope you get another caution and can get that free pass later on.
Well, we were talking about pit strategy. All of the drivers, Andrew Polici, Maxwell Caldwell, Justin Lewis, Trevor Dalton, all came back down pit lane to top off on fuel.
Interesting call.
I mean, you're just starting at the tail end of the line, so.
Yeah, that is true. But how close do you think it's going to be that one lap is going to be a difference? A lot of questions to be answered here in the second half of this race. We got ourselves a little halftime break. Unfortunately, a couple of competitors are not going to be able to compete the way that they want to.
So they just joined right back in. So Yarborough and Casebear going to lead them to the green flag.
Mike, I really feel like this is one of those races that truly anybody could win. I mean, I know that we say that on any given Talladega race, but virtually everybody in this field has spent some time up front, has spent some time leading laps, and well, it's a very competitive field here. I'm excited to see what we do for act number 2. Green flag back in the air. Yarborough gets a strong restart there on the inside. Casebear gets kind of left in the dust.
Casebear didn't quite get going, but he is hooked up with Adam Lowe, and that outside line's coming back hard.
And now these guys getting right back up to full speed, 191 on corner entry. Takes them about 3/4 lap to wind up, but once they get to full song, it is on.
Casebear is Lowe behind him, but Lowe goes to the outside. Oh, just enough room, and that's going to give him a shove. Casebear back towards the front.
And now here comes Yarborough on the inside. Maddox just behind him, the 10 of Tarrant Hill, trying to line up and give him a shove, but look at how close together that outside lane is. Then there goes Davis up there to follow. 5 cars all lined up on the outside, and they're making hay.
They are definitely doing that. As Farrar got his damage repaired, got back out on track, stayed on the lead lap, pit farming that machine back to health, and he is running inside the top 4.
A good recovery there after getting turned around into the wall. He's able to keep going. Todd Merkel has also left the pit lane. He's back out on the racetrack. He is going to be a lap and a half down. That's a tough spot without a yellow flag. He's the only driver not on the lead lap, so if one happens quick, he would be the beneficiary. I don't know, Mike. It took us 35 laps for the first one, and we're already starting to single file out again.
Yeah, single file out as they run down the back stretch, but you can kind of see some of the drivers aren't quite as comfortable as others, as that snake effect seems to be more prevalent kind of mid-pack there. Some of the drivers we haven't seen race with each other.
I mean, there are numerous factors to it. One of them could be unfamiliarity, that these guys haven't really raced with each other a whole lot. Another is kind of what we talked about before when you were showing the onboard angle. There's so much limit in your visibility with what you can see when you're pushing up on somebody in front of you. And when you're trying to follow them, you might react to what they do, and you might make a bigger reaction than what their action was. And that'll kind of snake on through the field. You see guys kind of moving back and forth. Plus the air just buffets around on these cars like nothing else.
I'm going to say Maddox stuck out in the high side all by himself.
He's doing a pretty good job up there.
Yeah, he hasn't really
holding
lost
his own.
I would say hasn't really lost any time here. As it looks like
And
Davis pulls out.
I've seen ways that works. I don't know how exactly to explain it, but a combination of side draft plus a little bit of draft off the cars on your inside can really, really help pull you towards the front. That's what you're seeing Davis do, but he's got the combination of that plus the car up in front of him punching a big hole in the air. Watch for these two to get together and start making some momentum happen on the top side.
And I'm waiting for that 59, a Farrar to jump out there and go up with that 66. He hasn't done it yet, and he won't get to now, as that 66 has moved on by.
That was the moment. It looked like he thought about it. He moved up, got right to the right rear quarter of the 16 machine, but instead he stays in line, and now we've got a new race leader with Sam Maddox up on the outside. What a run he and that 25 put together.
Yeah,
Oh, now he's going to get out to a big lead.
Yeah, that's not what you want to do at a super speedway. Lucky for him, though, I believe everybody's going to stay down on the bottom side, but going to be close here.
Could this be a case of nobody really wants to lead? Are we trying to save fuel here?
Maybe.
No, I don't know. Here comes Davis taking that run up to the front. He's got a push from Farrar. Both of them are going to be able to move on down. 59, he's feeling racy. He wants to move up to the front.
That's how he went clear down below the yellow line, came right back up. 5 has a little issue there.
Not much help for that Busch Light Chevy Camaro. Two Chevys, 3 Fords up in the top 5. And so far, the 59, he's impressing me. He's able to stay right up there side by side for second place without really any help. He's just kind of staying stagnant.
3 rookies are leading this Talladega race.
30 laps to go this time around. Here comes a big shot from Matta to the 59. He's going to get back to him again, but doesn't seem to be making a lot of hay, so he's going to jump back down to the bottom, Michael Matta is.
Pulls back out again. Going to try and get that 59 machine rolling, but just can't quite do it through the corners. Pulls down, gets a little draft there off of Adam Lowe, and now he's right back to the rear bumper of the 59. Giving Farrar a push towards the front. See if they can stay lined up here, but that inside line is still moving away.
Yeah, that 16 for about a half a lap. It's looking like a dude who didn't want to get married. There was no commitment what he wanted to do. But eventually he did move up to the top to try to... Oh, he's going to move back down. Tried to push that 59 to the race lead, then tried to get down beneath him to make the pass. Here's Sam Maddox down to the inside of Davis on the inside. KD going to have to fall back. Oh, no, he's going to be able to hold on to that spot from Sam Maddox.
Yeah, that was going to be a bit dicey there. The 5 let off the gas just a little bit. Maddox had to go down to the inside to avoid wrecking, and they figured it out in a hurry. Back single file here, but Farrar and Matta probably didn't make any friends behind him.
Likely not. But we're starting to get into the point where, you know, you kind of make your bed with the friends you have. These guys getting ready here to catch up to Todd Merkel here. I believe he's going to stay down on the bottom, so should give this single file lane a very easy avenue to get around him.
I mean, unless he wants to page the field or something, but
it looked like the 59 didn't know that he was going to stay down low, and he just kind of checked up for him. Got a bump from the 16. Now they jump back down in front. Here comes the 16 of Matta up to the top side, trying to take away the race lead. He does take the lead. He clears him down right before the start-finish line. I'm not sure who's all working together with these crazy moves, or if this momentum is just shifting like that, but
that momentum has been crazy how fast it goes from one to the other. Matta was right behind, looked like he was just going to push that 59, had too much momentum, pulled up and slammed right back down in front of him to get that draft back as quick as possible.
And now once again, Farrar all over the back bumper, the driver in front of him. We've seen him push all day long so far. Right now, he's got the 16 in front of him. Couple of car lengths behind, back to KD, but everybody still single file.
Yeah, I wonder when we're going to see somebody try and do one of those mock finishing runs here, or if they're just going to ride around towards the back and just, wait it out and just make that one run.
Hell, I'm a big fan of practice. I think practice makes perfect. I don't want to wait until the absolute last second. Oh, problems in the back. Ronnie Hurst gets turned around.
No caution either. Wow. Wow.
Trevor Dalton loses a ton of time with that. Jason Crumley might be having problems as well.
Let's go take a look at that, because ouch is all I can say. Oh, Trevor Dalton got tapped.
Yeah, that's who I initially saw sideways up against the wall, and then I saw Hurst coming down the racetrack.
Looks like Crumley just had an issue and just riding around the back of the field, but no caution on that one, and we're still green here. Matta leads the field.
Ronnie Hurst went ahead and used his fast repair immediately. These guys were allotted one. He didn't want to waste any time not getting that caution. He says, all right, let's just go as quick as we can here. "23 laps to go, and it is definitely starting to get dark here in Talladega. That orange glow we would see from the sun is virtually gone. Here comes a big run to the front. Sam Maddox is going to take over the race lead with a push from Jonathan Casebear in the 6th. Mike, let's see if we can get an onboard shot and see what these drivers are seeing right now in the cars. How dark could it be? Yeah, it doesn't look awful, but it doesn't look promising.
No, it definitely does not. That is fairly dark. I mean, even from here, it's pretty dark. Fast Tire Hill to the lead.
It's getting it done in that Pontiac Grand Prix. Gotta love that paint scheme there. Getting the Pontiac logo on it. I don't know what it is, but that spoiler, it just looks right on the Pontiac. Here comes a move up to the top. Michael Matta jumps up in front of the 59. These guys are side by side, gridlocked up and ready to go.
Yeah, Matta moved back down in front of Turret Hill. But Ferrari has company on the outside, and that is going to be Maxwell Caldwell as these guys from 1320 make their way towards the front.
Bottom of the racetrack goes Ferrari once again. Caldwell's got himself a nice run, a push from Polici. See what these guys are able to make happen coming up off of turn number 2. 21 laps to go when they crossed the stripe that last time. 20 next time. Big run up on the top side. Here comes Maxwell Caldwell. He's got help from Polici. Justin Lewis trying to follow through, but those two up in the top side moving to the front in a hurry.
Maybe they heard what we said about it getting dark and decided it was time to move now.
And we're not sure if there is a, sort of contingent plan in place for what happens if visibility does become an issue, but we'll get that passed along to you guys as soon as we can. Inside lane starting to get some more momentum. You see some sparks starting to fly. Guys scraping on the apron.
16 and 59 have found each other once again. They've been pretty good dance partners, not really committed to each other, but they seem to be pretty quick when they do get hooked up.
Apalici and Caldwell trying to make that happen now up on the top side. Matta's going to move up in front of him, trying to take away that momentum, and he does. That's going to push the 16 out to the lead. He's going to jump back down to the bottom. Michael Matta's going to lead this lap, and that was the fastest lap of the race, a 48.97. Usually we're used to seeing those. Usually we're used to seeing those fast laps with the guys at the end of the pack catching up, not on a lap where you take the lead, which, Mike, leads me to believe that the speeds are just going to get quicker the closer we get to the end.
Yeah, I imagine everybody was kind of hanging back there, saving fuel basically like we were thinking they were doing. But now it is go time. 19 to go. It's getting dark, and somebody wants to win.
Caldwell took a bump there from Polici, got him sideways, but that didn't concern him at all. He's going to try to come down in front of the 10 of Tarrant Hill. Not enough space.
Caldwell about forced himself down there. Didn't hear anything on the radio, but I'm sure he was not very happy at the moment.
Some momentum now up on the top side, taking away the draft from the inside cars. Caldwell takes over the race lead. He's got Polici with him, and Davis going to jump down to the bottom of the racetrack. Just barely gets in front of Matta. He's trying for the lead.
These guys are all over the track. We're going to see. Ooh, that was close. Farrar tried to go down to the bottom and got loose. Lewis 3 wide.
And it is getting really, really dark now. These guys are going to be struggling to see with all of these dark cars in front of them, and it's only going to get worse here.
I mean, I don't know what the problem is. You can't hardly see anything.
Well, from this angle. It might look worse from our cameras than it is in car. But
yeah.
These guys are getting to the end of this race. They know that, there's a big wiggle there out of Davis at the 25. Off of the front bumper of Polici, but it doesn't slow him down.
Caldwell and Matta are hooked up a little bit now.
Matta is one of the best pushers we've seen all day, trying to get a little separation. And as those guys sit side by side behind him, he's going to be able to push that 94 out front a little bit.
Almost tandem drafting now. 3 wide, 3 rows. Or 2 rows.
We are starting to get into this tandem type of race. The separation the top two have is 6-7 car lengths getting into turn 1. Davis going to try to close in. He's just in their wake. He's going to be able to close in pretty good coming up off of turn number 2. Moves up to the top side to draw even with Matta. He's got help from Case Bear and Lowe behind him. How far does this momentum take him? Separation from the cars on the inside allows the 25 the run to the outside. He's going to take over the race lead. Case Bear trying to get side by side with the 94 for second. They're three wide. Here comes Tarrant Hill up on the top side with the 59 of Farrar.
Now Farrar's been one of those good pushers as well. Tarrant Hill almost into the wall.
I think three of them might have been almost into the wall there. Tarrant Hill moves back down to the middle. He doesn't want that wall ride anymore. Still up on the top, though, is the 59. Here comes Madden to get in behind Tarrant Hill.
Davis trying to switch lanes, go to the middle, get in front of Tarrant Hill. Tarrant Hill into the outside wall off of Mata. They stay straight.
Not anymore. Todd Merkel gets turned around. The caution's going to come out. Josh Tarrant Hill still riding up into the wall. Some very, very aggressive moves down the back straightaway here towards the end.
Oh, just a little bump there from Ronnie Hurst. They stay straight, but Yarborough, Case Bear, Merkel.
There's delegation going on now within the admin booth of what we're going to do. I think we're going to try one more restart as normal. We're going to try to shorten this caution up. Going to try to shorten this caution as much as possible. But it is getting dark out here, boys. I think we are quickly losing the track.
I think
there was talk of a potential.
I was gonna say all the fans need to go start their trucks, pull them up next to the track. Let's get the headlights on.
Fine by me.
Trying to make this yellow as quick as possible to see if we can get this going.
I don't know. I've seen this happen in a moon car event, and I think we're getting towards the final minutes. Half the field's gonna pit. Joshua Yarborough, Jonathan Casebear, Josh Tarrant Hill, Trevor Dalton, Adam Lowe, Jason Crumley, Ronnie Hurst, and Todd Merkel. Well, Mike. I don't think they make it 10 laps.
I don't know if they make it 2 laps. With how dark it just got after the last couple.
Yeah, it's really, really getting darker and darker and darker now. Well, they're going to try to run it out. The drivers seem keen on it. We'll see how long the happy moons stay.
Just take off the cautions. Whoever survives wins, right?
Ah, man, this is really getting. These guys are for it though. These drivers are positive in the chat. Pace Truck's gonna make that hard left turn. We are either gonna go 11 more laps or we are gonna go until we can't see anymore.
I'm gonna say there's only gonna be one light that matters. This is the funniest thing I've ever had to broadcast. Nearly dark here at Talladega. Green light is on, and we are racing.
Looks like the outside starts off with a little bit of momentum, but Polici going to be able to pull towards on the inside. Here comes the 59 with a big block. Gets down in front of Polici. I don't know how these guys are going to do it.
Yeah,
Down the back straightaway.
Polici and Lewis are trying to make it, and it looks like that's the 5 going up to the high side, 3 wide. But he's going to get pushed back towards the back here.
AD to the top for 3, not quite that time. See the sparks flying off of the bottom of these cars. They've made it a lap.
Now, Polici, Lewis, Matta, Farrar, Caldwell.
10 laps to go. If we can see that long. Up to the top of the racetrack goes the 59. They're 3 wide for the lead. They're going to make contact. Polici with a big shove from Caldwell in the middle. Justin Lewis trying to hold on the bottom. Up the racetrack goes Farrar for a moment. Polici takes over the race lead down the back straightaway. Big push here from the back, or to the back of Justin Lewis from Michael Matta getting into turn number 3. They are dead even getting into turns 3 and 4.
Polici, Lewis are battling it out here. Caldwell desperately wants that win on the season. The only thing you can see are the lights as we head through the tri-oval. Caldwell down to the bottom.
He's going to lead that lap. If that was the white flag, that would have been the perfectly executed move for the race win. However, he's going to hold on. These guys are absolutely incredible with what they're doing right now.
3 wide
down the
in
back
the
straightaway.
dark.
3 wide in the dark. This is crazy. You know, they're bumping each other. Still got Justin Lewis all over the back bumper of Maxwell Caldwell. Here comes Matta trying to move up. Is he going to move up? No, he's not. Sunoco sign is the brightest thing on the racetrack right now. Here comes a move. Michael Matta moves up. He's got help.
Case Bear with him.
Out of the bottom goes Matta. He's going to take the lead from the 94 of Caldwell. No, Case Bear gets right behind Caldwell.
They are bouncing all over the track. 8 to go here. Ooh, Matta gets pushed down below the yellow line, gets back in line. Justin Lewis right on his rear bumper.
These guys are throwing together something that is absolutely incredible, absolutely insane. Justin Lewis and Michael Matta trading the lead back and forth when we can't even hardly see the lines on the racetrack. Here comes a move to the bottom from Polici. Caldwell moves back into second place. He's going to try to make a move here on Justin Lewis. 7 laps to go.
Justin Lewis is trying everything he can to block Caldwell here. Caldwell staying right with him. Case Bear on the bottom, and Tyler Farrar with Corridian Davis up to the high side.
We can hardly see the difference between the cars at this point. Justin Lewis holds on to the lead. Crash in the back. Caution's going to come out. Sam Maddox gets turned around. Jason Crumley and Andrew Polici also caught up. Sorry, Jason Crumley was not... Crumley was behind that, but Polici and Sam Maddox get turned around. I believe Trevor Dalton might have been as well.
Bounced around a little bit here. Oh, this came up just a little bit. That's going to cause them to turn around. They're going to do a quick short yellow here and hopefully get back rolling momentarily.
I don't know if that's going to be a possibility here at this stage. We are about to run into pitch darkness.
Let's see if we can go on board here just to see how dark it actually is.
Oh, man.
Wow. Wow. You can barely see the white on the wall. Oh, wow.
This is something else, man.
Hey, Todd Merkel's going to get, I think he's going to get back on the lead lap. If not, he'll get a lap back because it looks like he stayed out.
Yeah, I think he should be. Well, he's going to come in and pit.
Well, maybe he'll see pit lane. There's more lights down there, right?
Maybe. I hope his pit crew has lights.
Matta's in, Polici's in, Ferrar's in.
Thank
Quite
goodness
a
for
few are
timing and
in, so
scoring.
gonna have to pit and get back lined up in a hurry here.
I just don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, they seem pretty committed.
Yeah, Justin Lewis is leading the race. Let's go back in. Yeah.
Talladega night race was not what we intended, but it's what we've got here. And I tell you what, these drivers they are having a blast. If you can hear the chat that these guys have going on with each other, they are all for it. They all want to win this. They all think it'd be the coolest thing ever to win this Darkness Talladega race.
I think if they're going to do it next time, we might as well just keep it completely pitch black the whole time.
I'd say we go radio style, but I don't know. We can look at our timing and scoring and talk about the tenths. Look,
Yeah.
you can't see
You
the
can't see
racetrack.
anything again. The brightest
The
thing
only
they
positive-
can see is their dash.
The only positive is that if somebody jumps the restart, they'll never see the flagman call it.
Yeah, what are they going to see? What black flag? I never got a black flag.
Can barely make out some lines here.
Getting to the restart zone now is Justin Lewis. Restart zone, and we are green once again here. Wow.
We're going to try for 4 more laps.
Yeah, we'll try. We'll see what happens. Justin Lewis,
SCL.
Jonathan Casebear on the bottom. Caldwell up on the top side. Ooh, Casebear gets a little loose. Casebear, Caldwell side by side. Oh, and now it just got even darker.
Oh
My
goodness,
gosh,
the
caution is out. Race.
And I think that's going to do it.
Sam Maddox goes around. Wow.
And that's
Yeah.
I think that's how it ends.
Can you see the cars around them? I don't know. Can you? Maybe?
I can see a little bit of windshield.
Talladega night race. This is regular broadcast camera. And this is zoomed in. I think they're just going to run it out under caution. But Justin Lewis is probably going to get the win here. You can barely see the car from the roof cam here behind him. You can kind of see a little bit of the glow. You can barely see the pace truck.
Yeah, we are. This is certainly one of the most interesting nights I've seen here on Sim Racing Media.
Ooh. Lights are out on the pace truck.
We are going to try this again.
Jump back and go to Caldwell. You can kind of see something, maybe. Really getting darker. Lights are out on the pace truck. Wow.
This is absolutely incredible.
Single file restart here.
Yeah. We've got ourselves a race to finish, I guess. We're going to try this. The SCL does not do things halfway. We made a
Not even.
commitment.
As long as as long as Justin does not follow the pace truck, we're good. I mean, the brightest lights are the Sunoco race fuel sign there, and pit road's open. I wouldn't go down. Coming through the tri-oval, gonna hit that Geico restart zone at some point in time here.
Right up next to the fence.
Green flag is out.
Green flag is out. And now he's just going to try to drive right under that green. Justin Lewis has the race lead by about 1/10.5.
The only thing you can do is try and stay close to the wall and just hold it there, because you can at least see that.
And just hope you don't get hit.
Well, yeah. Yeah, just stay up there. Just keep rolling. Caldwell going down to the inside, going to try and make that pass as they are side by side for the race lead.
Caldwell is getting the race lead on the inside. We, of course, can't see it.
You can see his dash.
He gets that pass done.
And they're wrecking Ronnie Hurst, goes around. Caution's out again. Looks like Justin Lewis went around too.
Everybody's wrecking. I believe that should do it.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's going to do it. I know.
Well, we're gonna figure out what's going on here in terms of finishing results. Maybe it's best if we step aside here for just a few moments.
I mean, they have drop weeks. It'll be all right. we're not exactly sure what the order of finish is going to be here, but
a bizarre end here to the Talladega race. Obviously, not the way that it was intended to go here with the darkness and kind of controversy here. But I do just want to bring up the fact that these guys ran an incredible race. I mean, they didn't have their first caution until lap 35. It was just a couple of cars getting together. Didn't see a major big wreck throughout the course of the race. Things kind of got towards the end. Obviously, there was some more controversy, but these guys did a really good job given what they were given. And even in that darkness, to be able to run 3 wide like that, to be able to make the moves and slice and dice through the field like they were, really incredible.
Yeah, I don't know that I could have driven through that darkness, but that was a crazy end to a awesome race that we were having.
I'd say let's go through our finishing order, but I'm not entirely sure what the final order is going to be.
Well, according to iRacing right now, I'm sure it'll be unofficial momentarily, but Maxwell Caldwell, Adam Lowe, and Joshua Yarborough are going to be the top 3, with Tarrant Hill, Andrew Polici rounding out the top 5, Michael Matta, Justin Lewis, Trevor Dalton, Jason Crumley, and Jonathan Casebear the top 10. Kendorian Davis, Tyler Farrar, Ronnie Hurst, Sam Maddox, and Todd Merkel round out the field. See if we can get some drivers up here maybe for some interviews.
Well, you can bring up Joshua Yarborough, man who currently sits at 3rd. Hey Josh, it's Liam and Mike up at the booth. You got a copy?
I got a copy.
Hey man, that was some crazy stuff. I mean, to say the least. You guys threw together an incredible race from from the start. You ran the first 35 laps without a caution, and we saw some really good 3-wide action throughout the course of this race. What was kind of your thought process? What was your takeaway from this before all the darkness stuff? Because we'll get to that.
Yes. So the first half of the race, definitely a good group of guys we're racing with here. Numbers are a little bit lower than they used to be, but we're very tight-knit. Even the new guys that recently joined us, they're holding their own. They're making some moves. No qualms out of them.
What was it like driving in the dark? I mean, obviously before it got too super crazy dark, but...
Well, first off, I'd like to thank Ray Charles for teaching me how to drive. It did work out for 3rd place finish.
Yeah, it seemed like you had that 77 hooked up throughout most of this race. You ran up in the top 5 after starting towards the back, I believe. No, you started up in 5th place. My bad, but you started up in 5th. You stayed up in the top 5 most of the day. Who do you want to thank for such a strong run here?
Well, first off, I want to thank J&M Industrial Groups for hosting this series, being able to put on the YouTube show that everybody at home is enjoying. I'd also like to thank Robert's Ballscrew. That was the sponsor who also helped fund this season, and I was driving their car today, so that's cool to see them up here in the podium. And finally, I'd like to thank all my friends and family for watching, and my wife for sticking through everything, watching me race almost every other day of the week.
Well, awesome stuff, man. We're We're showing you in third right now. We're not entirely sure what the final results will be, but congratulations on a hell of a race.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, now let's see if we can get in Adam Lowe.
Hey, Adam, Mike up in the booth, man. How's it going?
I don't know. I don't even know where I'm at.
Well, that was a
Right.
that was an interesting finish there to this race. Looks like somebody has to go back and do a little calculator of when it turns dark on New Year's in at Talladega there. But a heck of a race, you guys. Even with the darkness, you guys put on a heck of a show. How was it racing, transitioning from that daylight into basically almost pitch black?
Well, I had a lot of confidence when that sun was up, and I was working together really good with Josh and Matta, Case of Beer, and Yarbrough there, and we were doing really good there, having lots of fun. And then all of a sudden the track went dark, and I don't really know what happened, to be honest. I don't know if you guys were able to see much more than us in the car, but that last half lap we did, I mean, I literally just held the wheel as what I thought was as straight as I could in the racetrack, and went. I hit a lot of cars there in turn 3, I think it was, and I'm pretty sure I'm missing my front clip. So that's about all that I know about that finish.
Yeah, we don't really know much more. We kind of saw a little bit of a pass there Caldwell made to go to the lead, but looked like almost the safest place to be was going to be holding that wheel to that outside wall and basically chastaining around. But heck of a run here. Anybody you want to thank before we get you out of here for your second place finish so far?
Yeah, I'm going to thank my sponsor, Colombo Properties, and my teammate, Josh, and of course you guys for broadcasting most of this race, at least. A little radio broadcast at the end. And I'm really looking forward to this. We got 2 weeks off here, and we're going to, I think, Motegi next, so that's always a interesting one. So I'm really looking forward to that one.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats again on your second place finish, and we look forward to talking to you in a couple weeks.
All right, thank you.
All right, and then I suppose we got Maxwell Caldwell. We can bring him up. Hey, Max, it's Liam and Mike up in the booth. You got a copy?
Sure do.
Well, that was definitely a crazy end, and I'm not totally sure we have all the answers right now, but as of right now, you crossed that start-finish line first. What was it like out there? I mean, you were very aggressive throughout a lot of this day, and what was it like slicing and dicing with the SCL guys?
The first 3 laps, I decided to lead, and once somebody passed, I decided to go to the back, hang out, and save fuel. Fuel was going to be a major issue. If you led every lap, you were not going to have enough on that second pit stop. You would have had to have made 2 stops. We chose to save a lot, hoping that went green. Then I had someone kind of come right down across my nose to the tri-oval before green flag stops, and that kind of put an end to all that. So then it made it where you save a little fuel, and then with 20 to go, kind of go hard. And it was some great racing. And I've always thought that I'm a decent restrictor plate racer, and just was putting myself in the right places, giving the right pushes. Like some of the pushes I was getting and giving were incredible tonight. But they just set up the room too late. And I'm all for, like, when it was real dusk and, like, you could see just, it was fun. Everybody was loving it. But it did, for that last 2 restarts, kind of go pitch black. But I could still see. I can sit here right now on the front stretch, and I can still see the outlines of the grandstand. Like, technically, I can still see enough to make laps around here. I mean, it's Talladega. It's big, it's wide. You're not going to get real loose and spin out. Like, as long as you don't touch that apron, you're good. Follow that wall, you're good. That last restart, we did single file, and I can still see outlines of cars behind me, in front of me, so I just timed it right, went to the bottom, cleared, and came up, and then I guess they wrecked behind to bring the yellow out, so I don't know. Call it selfish. I've been finishing second and third a bunch this season and last, getting new equipment, trying to get used to it to finally get my first win on the new equipment. And this season, as the points battle's already tight enough, this win would be huge. I I think it should stand because the officials let the restart go. They could have easily had us pace it out. And I mean, I would have finished second, but second sucks, man. I've done that a lot this season. So my vote is they let it run. If they don't take the last restart, me and my buddies were talking, like, if they don't take it, they need to axe the entire race and just rerun it another night and make it up.
Well, some strong words there about how we feel about this race. I mean, yeah,
I mean, I think it was great. Don't get me wrong. I know there's a lot of guys chapped right now. You know what I mean? And I can understand it to an extent. I mean, there were guys wrecking under caution because they said they couldn't see who's in front of them. But, I mean, I can still see the outlines of my chassis sitting here, and I can still see the front stretch. It's getting darker, but I can still see the outlines of the grandstands. It would be highly difficult to race under these conditions. But, again, like, either count the last restart, because I've been in SCL quite a few seasons, got 3 championships with them. Like, it ain't my first rodeo. So, I mean, I would dare say you just either count that last restart since it went green, or you go ahead and just re-rack everybody and just let us re-race it and change the time where it's midday and not sunset as a start time. I don't know where we got mixed up there. But regardless, nobody can say they didn't have fun when it got dusk and it was getting dark because everybody was on the chat lighting it up saying this is incredible.
yeah, it definitely sounded like a lively time when it was in that dusk time. Hoping we can make it to the end, but
and I
in
do
the
got to
end,
know, how bad was your broadcast watching? Because I've broadcasted before in other leagues and kind of been in your shoes. Y'all probably couldn't see nothing those last 2 restarts, could you?
it was
the top of
pretty
your car.
bad on that last restart. Pretty much all we could see was the outlines of fence and grandstand.
Call the
Everything
race
else
off
was
the
just-
relative.
Yeah, pretty much. But you crossed the line first, and albeit a kind of a bizarre finish here. Is there anybody you want to thank for such a strong run here all day?
Oh, man, first and foremost, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, man. He has blessed me to be able to run with this league for almost 2 full years now. And, I mean, 2 years don't sound like a lot, but that's multiple seasons in iRacing. So they run about 12 to 14-week seasons on average. So this is probably season 6 or season 7 for me. So it's an incredible group of guys. I really hate that our car count's low because I remember having races where people would go or go home because we'd have 46 guys going for 40 spots. So I do miss those days. In the next 2 weeks, we get to do some awesome recruiting races. So anybody watching, if you like what you see, come run with us in those the next 2 Monday nights. If you're not doing anything for the holidays on those nights, and it's just an incredible group of guys the Lord's blessed me to be able to be around. So it's incredible. So thankful to Him first and foremost. Merkel Racing Engines for being on the car. You can't see it right now, but they're on the car. So got to thank them for their support. Todd Merkel and the teammates there. Todd. Andrew, Justin, Trevor, run with these guys week in, week out. They help push me to make me better. I hope I'm able to push them to make them better. We just have fun most of the time. So, and we were a strong group tonight. So couldn't have done this without teammates. Even me and Justin were there at the end. It's just a matter of 2 laps to go. You got to race it out in the dark. And then thankful for the league, and then you guys broadcasting. Like I said, I've done that. I've been in your shoes in another league and kind of helped broadcast some of their races, so I know how tough it is with different technical gremlins you may face, or just tonight not being able to see what you're calling. Like I've never done that, but y'all work really hard and tirelessly to make sure these broadcasts are fantastic for our league, and I just appreciate SRM's dedication to this league. So, just extremely thankful for everybody.
Well, awesome stuff, man. Congratulations. I'm sure we'll be talking to you again after the holiday break. Enjoy your holidays, man.
Yes, sir. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody out there watching tonight.
All right. Well, that's gonna do it for us here on Sim Racing Media. Was definitely one of the wildest finishes I've had to a race.
I would say I was gonna say I would say that's one of the wildest finishes I've seen, but I don't know that we really saw it.
That's true. Maxwell Caldwell, as of right now, he crossed the line first. We've got Adam Lowe, Joshua Yarbrough, Josh Tarrant Hill, Andrew Polishi, Michael Matta, Justin Lewis, Trevor Dalton, Jason Crumley, Jonathan Casebear, Kendoria Davis, Tyler Farrar, Ronnie Hurst, Sam Maddox, and Todd Merkel rounding out the field. Can't thank you guys enough for tuning in here live on Sim Racing Media. And as I always do, this time it's a little extra special because it's Tony's birthday. So happy birthday up there, Tony. As you guys walk through the streets of life, please don't play in traffic. Have a good night, folks.